What is going on, everybody? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you with Dallas Stewart. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing good.
Yep, and now we are doing our NFL Week 18 game picks. Yes, I cannot believe we are actually saying Week 18 ever since they added that extra game. 18 weeks to an entire NFL season. Insane to think that the NFL would actually think about adding this extra game, and pretty much we're in on the final weekend of the Seahawks regular season, which will end after this week. Last week, Dallas went 14-2. I went 13-3. A new personal best for Dallas with a split tying what I did in week 2 of the 2020 season. When I went 14-2, Dallas went 14-2, and I went 13-3. Other than that, not a bad week from either of us on the game picks.
No, not at all.
All right, so now that that's done, now we can move on to Week 18, the final week of the regular season, and next week we begin playoff picks. First off, we're going to start out. Do you not mind if we start out with our game first, Dallas?
Sure, I don't mind.
Yep, all right. We're going to do our game first. Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals in our final game of the regular season. Seahawks got that win against the Lions, and the Cardinals got that huge 3-point win against the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys tried to come back, but then Arizona was able to milk the clock away and seal it with the 25-22 win. And the Cowboys also lost, I think they lost Michael Gallup for the year.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Yeah, torn ACL. All right, so what do you think? Obviously, it's been a crappy season for us. No Bobby Wagner this week. He is out because he sprained his knee. And speaking of which, congratulations to Bobby Wagner on being inducted into the Utah State Sports Hall of Fame. Him and Robert Turbin were both added to the Utah State Hall of Fame.
Oh, they were?
Yeah. Well, other than that, I gotta take Arizona in this one. But I'll tell you what, if the Seahawks play spoiler to the Cardinals, you know I will be having a field day on my channel if we pull off an upset and play the spoiler. But I don't think it happens, unfortunately. So I gotta go Arizona. But I would love it if we do pull some sort of spoiler and do some damage to them before they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Arizona too. I think we had one last gasp last week against the Lions. I think we put everything we had into that, and
yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to get it done on the road.
Nah, and plus it'll be Arizona's first time sweeping us since what, 2009?
Yep.
Yeah, they can have that. They can win the battle, but they didn't win the war because in the end we still have the Super Bowl championship in the reign, and they ain't got no reign. They'll probably be making an early round exit or making an exit in the divisional round to either Green Bay or whoever they'll have to play in the divisional round besides Green Bay, maybe Tampa Bay or Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But most likely Green Bay if they have to go to Green Bay. All right. Up next, we're going to get back to down the road. We got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs got upsetted by the Cincinnati Bengals. Statement win for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase just went off. Jamar Chase this entire season, I'll tell you what, he's been putting up Randy Moss-type numbers of his rookie season. 1998, he put up 1998 Randy Moss-type numbers. Jamar Chase, to me, he obviously, after last week, he pretty much locked down the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I would say so. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos got the crap kicked out of them by the Chargers. Your split that you won. Why the hell did I pick Denver, man? I don't know why the fuck I picked Denver on that one. But Kansas City dropped that game to the freaking Cincinnati Bengals. And Chiefs, they need to win, and they need a Titans loss in order to hold on to the 1 seed, because now the Tennessee Titans hold the 1 seed because Cincinnati pulled off that upset. I got the Kansas City Chiefs completed the sweep of the Broncos. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs to complete the sweep of the Broncos and probably finish with the number 2 seed in the AFC.
Yep. Whew, all right. Up next, we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys they were just down the entire time. They let Arizona just have their way with them. They made an epic comeback, but in the end, they just could not get it done and could not get a defensive stop, and Arizona milked the clock. They lost Michael Gallup for the year. That's a huge loss for them going into the playoffs. Now it's just Cooper and Lamb as their top receivers, and, of course, Cedric Wilson. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles kicked the crap out of the Washington football team. That was funny as hell with all the Eagles fans trying to celebrate with Jalen Hurts, and the railing broke, and they all fell over. Thankfully, they were all right, but that's funny how that happened, though. But I got the Dallas Cowboys completed the sweep of the Philadelphia Eagles to have some momentum rolling into the playoffs. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys as well to complete the sweep of the
Eagles
and the
Yep. Complete sweep of the NFC East for the Dallas Cowboys.
Eagles they're going to the playoffs with a first-year head coach. Not a bad turnaround.
Yeah, that's not a bad turnaround at all for the Philadelphia Eagles. I give them props for that.
Sirianni could definitely still be in. He's definitely, I would think, on the list of Coach of the Year candidates.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he also won a game with Gardner Minshew when Hurts was hurt. Granted, it was against the shit-ass New York Jets.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we got the Washington football team taking on the New York Giants. The Washington football team got obliterated by the Eagles. Meanwhile, the New York Giants last week, the Giants got freaking... Who did the Giants play last week?
And they got destroyed by the Bears.
Oh, that's right, Chicago. Yeah, that's right. Chicago Bears on Thursday. Back last week, the Bears just mauled them worse than freaking Philly. And man, sorry, I don't know, man. I'm feeling a little sick right now. I'm sorry. I've kind of been under the weather lately. I caught COVID for the second time, so sorry about that. So other than that, I'm still in good spirits. And hey, COVID ain't gonna hold me back from doing the game picks. All right. Other than that, I got the Washington football team completing the sweep of the Giants.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Washington to get the sweep of the Giants in looks like what's going to be their last game, known as the Washington football team.
Yeah, what is their name gonna be next year? We won't know. Oh man, that's gonna be insane. Thankfully I caught it after the game against the Lions, so I at least got to see the last home game. So thankfully for that. So feel good to relax. Watch this last week and then get ready to make those playoff picks. Up next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Cincinnati Bengals with a big statement win over the Kansas City Chiefs to seal up the AFC North. The Bengals winning the North. Joe Burrow. Man, you think Joe Burrow could possibly win Comeback Player of the Year?
He definitely could. He's had a good year.
I already said Jamar Chase pretty much locked up Offensive Rookie of the Year. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns lost in Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger's last home game. Ben Roethlisberger wins his home finale in Pittsburgh, and pretty much, that's most likely gonna be their last game of the. I mean, granted, the Steelers play Baltimore this week, so that will be Ben's last game will be in Baltimore. The Steelers ain't going to the playoffs because they need the Colts to lose in order to have any hope for a wild card. And the Colts ain't losing to Jacksonville, but other than that, I got the Cincinnati Bengals to split with the Cleveland Browns, and the Bengals are gonna up their seeding a little bit. I don't know if they're up there if it's gonna affect their seeding, because what seed are the Bengals gonna be at since they won the division?
Probably the
3 seed.
But I heard they're gonna rest.
Oh wait, never mind. They're gonna rest the.
They're gonna rest Burrow and Mixon's out because of COVID.
Yeah, so they're wait.
Keenum is starting for Cleveland because Mayfield's gonna have shoulder surgery.
So this is pretty much a battle of backup quarterbacks. So Cincinnati.
I'm gonna take Cleveland because I think Cincinnati doesn't really care about this game.
Yeah, screw it. I'll take Cleveland as well because the backups and whatnot. So they're resting so Bengals are the first team that's going to be resting their starters.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take Cleveland with Case Keenum and Dearness Johnson, just like when they mauled the Broncos. All right.
Cleveland probably one of the biggest disappointments this year.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers won Ben Roethlisberger's home finale. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens last week, the Ravens got beat by the Rams. They were up on the Rams for a little while, but they just could not hold that lead, and they let Odell Beckham Jr. score that last touchdown, and the Rams ended up winning that game by 1 point. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Steelers to complete the sweep of the Ravens for Ben's last game of his career, which will be in Baltimore. I'm taking the Steelers to complete the sweep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers as well to complete the sweep and hand the Ravens a 6-game losing streak heading into the off season. Because is Jackson still out?
Yeah, I think Lamar's still out.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a 6-game losing streak going into the offseason.
Yep, I agree with that too. Up next, we got the number 1 NFC seed Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions, who we just dropped that 50 burger at. You and me and Adam were there for that, where we dropped 50 points on Detroit, probably most likely Pete Carroll's last home game, and we'll see about the whole Russell Wilson thing going on off season, but it felt good to at least win our last home game. But lock of the week, Packers are gonna obliterate the Lions just like we did. Give me the Packers.
Yeah,
Lock of the
give me
week.
the Packers.
Lock of the week.
To complete the sweep.
Lock of the week.
Yeah, I think they'll get a big enough lead at halftime, and then maybe they can get Jordan Love in the second half.
Yeah. Is Jared Goff still out for the Lions, or is he coming back?
He should be back, but it shouldn't make any difference.
It won't. All right, up next. Go ahead. You were about to say something?
No, yeah, you're right. It won't.
All right. Up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts going to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts last week dropped that game to the Las Vegas Raiders, a shot in the dark that we took, and the Raiders ended up winning that game for their late coach, the late great John Madden, the late legendary coach. And meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars got obliterated. They got a 50-burger dropped on them, just like the Lions did against us by the New England Patriots. And Mac Jones, and they got to play the backups too. The Patriots got to play their backups. Too bad we didn't play our backups during our game against the Lions. But I got the Indianapolis Colts completing the sweep of the Jacksonville Jaguars, which will mathematically eliminate the Steelers from playoff contention. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, give me the Colts to sweep the Jaguars and clinch a wild card berth, and it's going to clinch the number 1 overall pick for the Jags for the second year in a row.
It will. Yep. So after this week, we're going to be saying the Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they've been on the clock for a while, and they're going to be on the clock after this week. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Bears obliterated the Giants and the Minnesota Vikings last week. The Vikings pretty much... The Vikings got
because Cousins was out.
That's right, no Kirk Cousins, and they got destroyed. Sean Mannion was their quarterback, and Green Bay just unleashed hell. Devontae Adams unleashed hell, and Aaron Rodgers unleashed hell, and that pretty much sums up Minnesota. The Vikings got fucked by the Packers, but season finale, Vikings Bears. I'm gonna take the Vikings to complete the sweep of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, give me the Vikings to get the sweep and end their frustrating season on a high note, and those head coaches will probably be fired.
Yeah, Vikings fans were calling for
I'm gonna take Minnesota.
All right, up next we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans last week got a big win against the Miami Dolphins. They obliterated Miami. Tannehill got the ultimate revenge to ruin Miami's win streak and pretty much...
Yeah, it ended their wild card hopes.
Yep, and that pretty much is going to keep the Titans at the number 1 seed and wrap up their division. They're taking on the Houston Texans, who upset them earlier in the year. And meanwhile, the Houston Texans last week, the Texans got beat by Trey Lance and the 49ers, 23-7, I think was the final on that one. But Texans, you ain't getting an upset this time. I got Tennessee getting revenge for earlier in the season and pretty much ending their season with, what would their record be? 12-5?
12-5.
And pretty much sealing the number 1 seed for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee to get revenge for losing to them in Nashville earlier in the year, and they got Derrick Henry back, which is huge if they want to go on a deep playoff run.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely big for them to have Derrick Henry back. All right, up next we got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons last week. Let's see, I got the list here for last week. What happened to the Falcons last week? Then
they lost in Buffalo.
That's right. Buffalo was struggling a little bit in the beginning, but then Buffalo was later able to pull away. And meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints got it done against the Carolina Panthers to split on the season. Whew, man, this is going to be a good game. We know the Falcons won the last game around, but, oh, man, it's kind of a tough one to pick. You want to go first on this?
Yeah, I'm going to take New Orleans to get revenge on the Falcons.
Is Taysom Hill still starting for them?
Falcons still have a shot at getting the last wild card if the 49ers lose to the Rams.
Are the Saints starting Taysom Hill?
I think so.
And all right, I'm going to take New Orleans as well on that one.
Yeah, because they have a wild card shot on the line.
Saints have playoff aspirations. they want to try to get to the playoffs and try to possibly earn a wild card spot. So, yeah, I'm going to go Saints on this one. Up next, we got the New York Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills got that win against the Falcons. Meanwhile, the New York Jets got freaking... shit. The Jets got beat by Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and Antonio Brown had that rant, had that crazy show of display where he did it in front of the stadium, basically just walked out on Tampa Bay, and he just got released by Tampa Bay. Hell, he got released after he did that shit. So I don't think Antonio Brown's going to get another chance in the league. After all the chances he's had, I would not give him another chance in the league.
No, his NFL career is probably over.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so the Jets lost to the Buccaneers. The Bills barely pulled it off. Are the Bills going to be resting starters? This would be a good week for the Bills to rest their starters going up against the Jets.
No, I don't think they're going to be resting their starters because they still need to win to clinch the AFC East.
Yeah, pretty much that. I mean, granted, they could still freaking kill the Jets with Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback.
They probably could.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Bills to complete the sweep and destroy the Jets and pretty much wrap up the AFC East. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills to sweep the Jets and win the win back-to-back AFC East titles.
Yeah, AFC East, yep. Up next, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Buccaneers. Panthers got beat by the Saints. Buccaneers pulled it out against the New York Jets with Antonio Brown being overdramatic and just throwing his shit away and just leaving in the middle of the game. So, like we mentioned, AB's done. Don't think he'll get another chance in the league. Buccaneers pretty much they already got their division wrapped up, and they're still going to want a high seed. I got the Buccaneers completing the sweep of the Panthers. Give me the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I got the Bucs completing the sweep of the Panthers, and the Panthers to end their season on a 7-game losing streak.
Yeah. All right, up next, we've got the New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots and Dolphins won the earlier match in Week 1 when the Patriots fumbled it away. Meanwhile, the Patriots destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, and the Miami Dolphins had their nice little winning streak ended by the Tennessee Titans, hungry for that number 1 seed. But this time around, I got the Patriots getting revenge on the Dolphins and just trying to lock up their wild card position. I got the Patriots.
Yeah, I got the Patriots to bounce back and get revenge for that tough Week 1 loss in New England and end their season while, go into the playoffs with a little bit of momentum.
Mm-hmm, indeed. All right, up next, we got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. We all know what happened last time on that Monday night battle, but meanwhile, the 49ers took care of their business against the Houston Texans. The Rams barely squawked it out against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore by 1 point. And, NFC West on the line pretty much, for this one. Rams have to win the Rams need either this. They need to win against the 49ers, or they need us to play spoiler to the Arizona Cardinals in order to clinch the division. If we spoil the Cardinals, then the Rams could afford to rest the starters and take the sweep against the 49ers, and the Rams would freaking win the division. But, other than that, I got the Rams winning this game and pretty much winning the NFC West. I'm taking the LA Rams to get revenge for that Monday night game.
I'm gonna take the Rams to get revenge for that Monday night game. The Rams want that NFC West title and more than likely the 2 seed, and they would love to keep the 49ers out of the playoffs. Yeah,
pretty much. But I bet you they're also praying for us to get a win, which would get an upset spoiler win, which would spoil the Cardinals' chances of winning the division, which pretty much if the Cardinals lose to us, then Rams fans are going to be thanking us for that. Granted, we're finishing last in the division, but
the Cardinals
they're still in the playoffs.
They would still have to have, I think they would still have to have I think if they both lost, I think the Cardinals would still win the division because
is that how it's going?
The Cardinals swept the 49ers.
Yeah, they did.
That means they would have split with
they split with the Rams.
I think they still would have had a better division record.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if they both lose, I think the Cardinals still win the division.
Interesting. We'll see on that one, too. But, yeah, I could definitely see that. But I got the Rams beating the 49ers, and
so do I.
pretty much the Rams win seals up the division for the Rams, and the Rams will probably have the 2 seed.
Yeah.
So then that means who would have to play the Rams in the first round of the playoffs?
In the first round, probably if New Orleans gets in, New Orleans.
Yeah, easy win for the Rams there. All right, last but not least, we got the Sunday night game. We got the LA Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders from Las Vegas. The Chargers need a win to get into the wild card spot.
Yeah, same with the Raiders.
Same with the Raiders, man. So both their seasons on the line tonight. Winner's in and loser goes home. I'm going to take the Chargers to complete the sweep of the Las Vegas Raiders. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers to get it done on the road, get that final wild card spot, and end the Raiders season. I think the Raiders are going to come. They're going to have a little bit of a letdown after that win in Indianapolis.
I agree
Should
on
be a
that.
good game, though.
All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Raiders get into the playoffs with all they've had to go through this season.
Yeah, that would be something. All right. So there you have it. Our Week 18 picks. We got the Chiefs over the Broncos, Cowboys over the Eagles, Washington Football Team as their last game as the Washington Football Team over the Giants, Browns over the Bengals, Steelers over Ravens, Packers over Lions, Colts over Jaguars, Vikings over the Bears, Titans over the Texans, Saints over the Falcons, and Cardinals complete the sweep of us. But I would love to see us pull a spoiler if we can. If we somehow pull a spoiler, I'm going to have some fun with it. Just saying. We're going to have some fun with it if we pull a spoiler. But I'm not counting on it, though. But, it is what it is for the season. Just time to move on and rebuild and start over again this offseason. Bills over the Jets, Buccaneers over the Panthers, Patriots over the Dolphins, Rams over the 49ers, and the Chargers over the Raiders. And those are our Week 18 picks, final picks of the regular season. Let me know your picks down in the comments down below, and we'll catch you when we do playoff picks sometime next week. Dallas, thank you once again for doing this with me.
Yep, no problem.
All right. Catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. As always, go Seahawks.